So I couldn't resist, I got another banana, one that I didn't have, sitting in the middle roughly, and I'm going to cut him in half.
Oh, that's so scary. I can't believe that you just hit them with your saw, just hacking away at them.
Welcome back to the Wildlands Garden. It's the very beginning of March and it's starting to feel as if spring is just round the corner. The daffs are almost in flower, and in tonight's episode, to remind us of the gorgeous summer to come, we're going back to May of last year, 2023, and we're going to plant a tropical bed at the side of the banana circle. So we're planting a lot of plants, lots of bamboos to form a new hedge, cannas and more, and maybe a secret extra banana or two. So let's go back to May of last year now and look at how we plant a tropical bed in our garden. So I'm back at the banana circle and I'm at the side. You can see there's the left side of Mrs. Herb garden there, and we've got what's left of a terrace here, some over there, and then over on that side we get to the border of the land, and I want to tidy that up. So I want to carry this path round, which currently ends over there, and I need to do some more levelling. So I've already started levelling a bit here, then it drops off quite considerably and then goes back up. So I'm going to get some earth from over there, which is what's going to be our natural pond, level this out a bit, put some cardboard down, put wood chip on it, and then here at the sides I'm going to clear that. I'm going to plant some bamboos along the back here near the border. We've already got some new almond trees there, and then on my left side, or the right hand side of the back of Mrs. Herb garden here, where you can see the terrace again, this earth here that's now dried out on the back of the herb garden, you can see her last run, which is a mugwort hedge. So here I'm going to put in some cannas, make the soil better, get some weeding done, and then going around there on the edge of what is the path, the bamboos. So let's get gardening. So cardboard down a bit, same or similar compost mix to last time. So I've got a couple of parts of home composted out of the compost bin. This stuff quite moist and quite manure heavy. And underneath that I've got one bag of shop bought compost, and under that I've got some cow and sheep fertilizer, bio, basically just rotted down, and I'm going to mix that all together. I'm going to raise this up a bit, and then I'm going to put a few bamboos along the back and some other tropical plants in and around at the front, mainly cannas I think, but I'll see how that goes as I get planting. So it's all good fun, eh? So looking good, and Rosie and I have been a little bit naughty as we went to Agriloca and bought a few new plants. So I couldn't resist, I got another banana, one that I didn't have, so applied that there. And then these are cannas that we grew ourselves from seed, so planted those out. We've got a lot of climbing nasturtiums, which we've also grown from seed, and then two larger cannas that we bought in Agriloca that we've planted out, one in flower with lovely pink flowers, and then two lanternas which we also got from Agriloca, which we planted out. They're not looking so happy. And then down the side, so far I've put in 4 bamboos with a load of canna durbans that I've propagated myself, and the idea is we're going to keep the bamboos going in a semicircle, so following the path that we put in down here, and then the bamboos will continue down this side, and then when they grow that will make a nice hedge here, and then on this side we'll have the cover of the bananas, and then we'll have this lovely semicircular path in the shade. So that's the next stage of the banana circle finished. I've also given the bananas a trim, you can see here. So I'm basically going on the basis that 3 or 4 leaves promotes root growth and the onset of babies. And this one now has 8 babies. Since I've trimmed it, it's got another couple, and you can see it's quite upright. So I'm trimming off, chopping and dropping. You can see these rot down quite quickly. So the banana circle's doing very well. And you can see I've added a couple of stones to continue this round. And I'm going to plant some more bamboos in the next day or two and get some more plants in here as we slowly get towards the nature pond, which is behind the camera. So another good job done on the wildlands. So you'll already have seen in the banana circle new border that I put a lot of bamboos in, 8 or 9 bamboos. So now let's head over to Adam's plants for free, and I'll show you how you can aggressively chop up bamboos and get yourself a lot of free bamboos.
You've got to be brave to do this.
You've got to be brave. So yeah, bring your carving knives with you. So here's plants for free. So I've got a big saw, a bow saw, and I've got a very pot-bound bamboo here, which is the same bamboo that I split a couple of years ago, for those of you that have followed us for that long. And you can keep splitting bamboos ad infinitum, so you get lots of free plants, which is particularly great when a bamboo like this would cost you 40, 50 or 60 euros in the shop or garden centre. So this is particularly pot bound, you can see, and he's not going to get any bigger, and in fact a lot of him has gone around in a circle, so it's actually doing him a favour. So when he's that pot bound, you can't really do very much in terms of splitting him other than being very, very aggressive. So I'm going to kind of find some sort of middle ground. Let's have a look. Sort of down here, and then I'm just going to get my saw, sit him in the middle roughly, and I'm going to cut him in half. So there we go, now we have 2 halves. These brown bits, just pull them off. Let's get these weeds out of here. Lots of stinky chamomiles, which is related to normal chamomile, but not nice and very weedy. So I'm going to get that out. Even more over this side. So, and then once you've cut him in half, you can decide whether you want to cut him in half again or even into thirds. And as long as you have one of these with some roots or some roots with a culm, it will carry on growing. I'll take you in the greenhouse in a minute and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm not really sure if I want to cut that in half again. Probably will do him a favour. I think we'll go across sort of half. There we go, so there's 2 bamboos. I think they'll be adequate now. What about you? So that's 4 bamboos. So I started, so then you can have a look at this guy. So he's got a few roots on him, so he's worth going in water. So I'll take you in the greenhouse and show you some of the other splits I've done on bamboos. So all of these here are literally just individual stems that I've pulled out of the ground, and as long as I have a bit of a root on, as I said earlier, you can plant them up. And if the roots are very minimal, you can put them in a jug of water or a jar of water first until it gets more roots and then plant it. But you can see out of all of them, they're all regrowing apart from maybe this one, but quite often they do send culms out of the roots at a later date, so all is not lost. So basically when we moved to the wildlands, I went to the local nursery and I bought 5 bamboos that were very pot bound, similar to the one that I've just cut up, and I did exactly what I've just done, and every bamboo that you've seen in our videos all around the land have all come from those original 5 pots. So I'm starting to run low because I'm now planting them in the ground, and when they're in the ground you can just get these suckers or shoots out. But again, in a couple of years this guy here will be as big as the one that I've just cut up. So plants for free for the win.
Oh, that's so scary. I can't believe that you just hit them with your saw, just hacking away at them. At least you know that it worked last year.
It did, yeah, it's fabulous. The ones that I did the same technique last year are so healthy, and it's such a great method of propagation, particularly if you've got big bamboos. And if you've got bamboos that are in the ground, you can get yourself a fork, your garden fork, dig up a massive clump, same process, hack it up with a saw or a bread knife, and then any bits that you have with culms that have roots, they can go in pots. Any odd shoots of bamboos with bits of roots, they can go in a pot.
Be brave.
Any that have no roots, stick them in a jar with some water. You get a very good result with most bamboos, so yeah, be brave.
Excellent.
So let's go back to the banana circle and get those planted in the ground. And we're back again with more soil. Give it a bit of a mix. So I've got 3 completely different homegrown 2nd-year-old Cannas, small because they've been contained in a pot, and that is Canna Jaegeriana, and that is a Canna indica, which is the same as the bulbs that I've bought, and that is another Canna Jaegeriana. And these are all Canna indicas, 2 bulbs in a pack, very cheap, €2, so €1 a Canna. So basically these 4 bamboos here, these are 2nd generation, so they were cut last March, so not the March we've just had, the one before. And the very big bamboos that are outside the chickens were propagated the year before that, so these are 2nd generation, the ones by the chicken are 1st generation, and I think I've cut them all now, and then I've probably got about 20 or 30 smaller pots with various little shoots that will eventually get as big as this. And this is quite a big bamboo, gets to about 8 foot, so it's going to form a lovely hedge. We quite often get bamboo naysayers on the channel as well, people that are worried that bamboos are invasive. So worth pointing out that there's about 500 or so different bamboos. Some won't even grow here, some are exceptionally invasive, some are clumping, so there's all different types. So these are basically clumping. We've had people say, oh yes, but clumping bamboos, they'll still take over your land, and the answer is no, they won't. We've experimented, and if you don't water these bamboos, they don't survive in the temperatures that we get here. So these will be watered. I'm happy for them to climb up the border, but they'll only go as far as they can get water while they're being watered here. So if we were to leave the property and they weren't watered, they would not surviving. So all is good with the bamboos. Anyway, waffle aside, let's get these Cannas in the ground. So that's another 4 foot or so of the edge of the banana circle finished. So to summarise, we've got another 4 bamboos in, the ones that we split in plants for free. We've got 7 or 8 Cannas spread around the middles of the bamboos, same as the other end. And then I've also just put some nasturtiums along the front. So that's that part finished for today. And then we've got about another 4 foot of the bamboo and Canna border to finish off the circle. So that's going to come out to about here. And then we've just got this path to finish. We move the chestnut right to the back. So here's our beautiful tangerine tree, which you'll remember from a previous episode. We're not putting in the ground because it's the wrong time of year. Last year we made that mistake. We put a lemon in the early summer and it didn't make it through the winter. What we'll do is we'll wait until mid-autumn, which is the best time to plant citrus, and then we'll put her in here. But for now, she's staying in the pot well watered. And the little bed around it this morning, which I didn't film, I've put in 8 Padron peppers, which Rosie grew for me. So thanks very much, Rosie, for those. And what's quite funny is I planted Padrons from seed, and so did Missy, and we didn't have any success at all. And Rosie got about 16, so she very kindly donated these to me to go in my Padron pepper border. So if you're not familiar with Padron peppers, but you might have had Padron peppers when you've been on holiday in the Med or in Spain, or if you've been to tapas in the UK, as we did and have done many times. Padron peppers are little green peppers, sometimes spicy but usually not, and you fry them in salt. So in the summer, when we've got a crop of Padrons, myself or Missy will show you how to fry them. Absolutely delightful. You can grow them them in a greenhouse undercover in the UK, or perhaps in a cold frame, keeping them fairly hot and humid. So worth a try, and they are delicious. So here we've got lovely baby Padrons, and I look forward to eating those later in the summer. Didn't the banana circle and our new tropical bed look absolutely wonderful? And also I still wince when I watch back the soaring up of that bamboo. And you can see that the bamboos have taken well, so even after being sawn up they've made it through the winter. And I will be doing separate videos in the next couple of weeks on different methods of propagating bamboo. So I'll be showing you how to propagate bamboos of the clumping variety from cane cuts. And I'll also be showing you how to propagate all bamboos using culm cuttings and root cuttings in more detail. So subscribe to follow our food forest as she goes into her second year. We'll be showing you a tour of the food forest in her second year as we get into spring, so that'll also be up in the next few weeks. So I'm looking forward to showing that to you all and seeing how the food forest is looking after the winter and the autumn. And also, if you've got any suggestions on tonight's video or any questions, please do leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you, and we get back to everybody that posts us a comment. So once again, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you very soon with another episode from the Wildlands Garden. Ciao.